So the checklist is finally here, and after this video, you will now have all the information that you need to determine if this 2025 Topps Knockout UFC box is a green light for purchase. Man, we have an official release date, and this release date has got bumped back many times. Initially, it was October 10. Then it was October 17. Now, let's see if the screen shares up. It is October 24. As you can see over here on the side of the screen. Now, I, for one, am not mad when they push these products back. It'd be different if there was, a huge delay in between products. But with these products coming out so frequently, back to back to back, this pushback, I thought worked well. It would be close to 2.5 months since the midnight release, whenever this knockout product will officially come. So, it's a little bit on the quicker side. Ideally, 3 to 4 months. Personally is like my preferred window in between products, but this gives us a little bit of room to breathe, a little bit more time for these specific products to really get all the attention from the collectors until we shift into a new release. So I, for one, was happy that the initial October 10 release date got pushed back to October 24. Next up, pricing information. Okay, so we know that initially this product dropped at $229 on the Topps drop. And now again, they need to allocate more product for us because this one sold out basically immediately. This was a really quick sellout. And these wholesalers, dude, the resellers are just murdering people. Okay, so let's take a look at the big three that have the product up right now. So we've got DA Card World, $350. That is $100 over what Topps initially dropped this product at. It is insane. And that's not like a one-off. We have $374 from Steel City, dude. Even worse at Steel City. And then we have Blowout at $345. So this is over $100 markup across the board, which is, that really hurts, man. That really hurts. And we know that the amount of these products that gets released, right? That is a Fanatics issue. That is a Topps issue. That's on them not giving us enough on the initial drop. But these resellers, man, like that's on them. They determine what the markup is on these products. And the only way that they are going to, drop the resale price down is if these don't sell on that site. So, I mean, I can't really blame them for trying to squeeze every single, nickel and dime out of these products. But that is an insane markup. And that's only going to change if people don't buy this out. Luckily, I was able to get one at the Topps drop. And I'm not saying don't buy that, but man, when you're buying in at that price tag, dude, there's very little meat on the bone if you are trying to flip any of the hits that you get from these products. So we'll just reiterate a little bit of the product info. We got 4 packs per box, 8 cards per pack, 8 boxes per case. Guaranteed hits. Again, this is knockout, so we do have quite a bit of guaranteed hits. We have 2 autographs. We got 1 auto relic, and we also have 1 relic. So you're going to be getting 3 autos in this product, which is, kind of on the higher side of these releases. You also get 4 numbered parallels per box and 1 short print parallel, which I think is going to be the black and white parallel. It was unnumbered, so the only one that was unnumbered on that list. So I'm thinking that the short print parallel is going to be the black and white, and there'll be like 1 per box of that. You're going to get 4 Inception inserts, which when we look at the checklist, there's a lot of people in this checklist. So to me, that kind of makes more sense after seeing the checklist, and 1 additional insert per box. So let's highlight some of the big rookie chases from this product before we look at all of the checklist in its entirety. First up, we have a true rookie. We have Mauricio Santos finally getting cards in 2025. This product is going to contain his true rookie cards. No first auto. I couldn't find him in any of the auto lists, so we're still waiting for that this year. And is it too late? In the comments below, are you guys out on Roofy? Do you still want to get him? He did get dominated by BSD. He has 2 cards in this product. He is in the base card, and he is also in the Inception checklist within this product. Next up, Rene De Reader, RDR, who has a big fight coming up here pretty soon with Brendan Allen. He is in 4 separate checklists in here. He's in the base. He has an Inception card. He also has an auto fight mat relic, and he has a 1-2 combo relic. Gene Silva coming off, what might be 2 of the best rounds I've ever seen with Diego Lopez. Very entertaining fight. He is in a lot of cards in this product. He is in the base. He's in the Ferocity. He's in the Inception. He is in Fearless Fighters. He is in Quad Auto Booklet, and he has a Momentous Materials. So he's in 6 cards in this product. Peyton Talbot just recently got announced. He's fighting Henry Cejudo soon. Tough matchup for Talbot, but if he can beat, Cejudo with Cejudo's wrestling background, I think that's a big win, and he's going to vault up the rankings. So I think it's a kind of a risky fight for him, being that Cejudo is such a good grappler, but I like it, and it'll be fun to watch him in that. He is in a bunch of cards. He's in 7 cards in this, man. He's in the base. He's in the Knockout Artist. He's in Fight DNA. He's in Inception. He's in Auto Fight Mat Relic. He's in the 1-2 Combo Relic. He's in the Fight Mat Relic. That is 7 cards in this product. And Joshua Van getting the title shot soon, man, against Pantoja. Be fun to see what he does in that. He is in the base. He is in the Inception. He is in the Knockout Auto, and he is in the Knockout Relics. And before we move on and talk about the base cards and get into this checklist, I want to tell you guys, we have consistently been seeing, when I'm doing all these videos, we are consistently seeing these rookies. They have a ton of rookie cards. I mean, we just talked about 6, 7 cards in this one product alone. On one hand, that's awesome, right? Because at the end of the year, we're going to have a ton of different images, a ton of different designs to choose from if you want to pick up, a nice one of these rookies. But when we think of the supply and demand for these people, they're going to have probably at the end of the year, and I might make a video on that once 2025 is over, I would say around 50 different rookie cards to choose from some of these high-profile rookies. Inevitably, what's going to happen is people are going to have, favorites of the different rookie cards, right? And they're going to purchase one of those 50 that they have for this year. And if you only had 10 or 20, that money is going to be allocated in, less amounts in 10 or 20 different ways instead of 50 different ways. So potentially you could have lower values because there are so many different rookie cards in the year and so many different printed cards. Now, do with that information what you want, but I think that could potentially affect rookie card pricing in the long term for these modern rookie cards. And I think we kind of need to be cautious whenever we're speculating on what card and also what fighter. So it even gets a little bit more risky whenever these fighters have this many rookie cards in a year. What's up, dudes? If you like these videos, please like the video. Please subscribe. Think about joining the Bat Crew, man. It helps me out a lot, and I appreciate you guys for watching. All right, now let's talk about some base cards, man. Let's get into this checklist. And this base card checklist has 51 different rookies in it. That is a 51% hit rate on the base cards. And I mean, as always, right, a bunch of these rookies you wouldn't really want. But anytime we can get, a hit rate of around 50%, that is pretty dang good. Also, we have multiple people in this class that are surging, that are collectible at the moment. So, at least there is some hope that we can potentially hit one of those people from the space set. I'll just quickly go around and kind of highlight some of the rookies here. Morgan Charrier, Frenchman name, tough to pronounce. He only has a few cards in this rookie set, and I think that's kind of what I would want personally whenever it comes to collecting these rookies. I think he was in Chrome. He might have had like 1 card in Midnight, but he's been, a little bit suppressed as far as the production. So that definitely to me is a good thing. Eduardo Mora, Dudakova, Martinez, Vinicius Oliveira, Josh Van, Petrino, who had a big win, but basically against, not a high-profile opponent. Eileen Perez, Mohamed Naimov, there's Rufy right here, Rybovics, Waldo Cortez, Mick the Big Orobai, Asu Almabayev, Kaya Sakura, Nate Landwehr, and this is basically all the names that we've been seeing throughout this year. There's not too much new in this product as far as rookies go. Farid Basharat, Weston Wilson, Luana Santos, Peyton Talbot, Bogdan Guskov. That actually might be a new name. I'm gonna have to double check that, and I'll put it right now over the video if it is. Carlos Prates, Shamil Gaziv, Bonfim. We've got interesting that maybe the other Bonfim brothers is in here down at the bottom. Sadikov, Charles Jourdain, Carl Williams, Hyesung Park, Balato again, Mariscal, Urseg, Gene Silva. There's the other Bonfim brother. Alayev, Christian Duncan, Rinya Nakamura, Melissa Mullins. Again, a ton of rookies, right? Kazama, Claudio Ribeiro, Kopolov, Matsumoto, Trevor Peak, Mark Daniel Marcos, Victor Henry, Marcus McGee, Trey Waters, Zell Huber, RDR, Modestas Bukakis, Magomedov, and Joe Anderson Brito. So a ton of rookies in the base set. And again, not a lot of new names. It's going to basically be the same names that we've been seeing from the further products that happened most recently in the year. Also, once you read these checklists, I like to go and double check over at MMA Rookies and kind of use his cheat sheets that he's built. It's a little bit easier than looking through this entire checklist. So shout out to Henry over at MMA Rookies. All right, so that was the base cards. Now let's check out all of these cards and all of these checklists, man. A lot of names, right? A lot of names. My vocal cords are going to be working hard today, but let's check this out. And I'm going to try and flash any of the pictures that we have for these cards on the screen whenever we're talking about them. There are a ton of cards that we didn't get leaks from, so, you know, it's going to be a lot of empty space whenever it comes to that, but let's check these out, man. We got the Knockout Artist, and this could be a fun design and a fun parallel. I'm excited to see what they give us. Hopefully it's action shots of people getting KO'd, man. Absolutely KO'd. So we'll see. We got Sergey Pavlovich, Derek Lewis, John Jones, Conor McGregor, Izzy, Aspinall, Anderson Silva, Peyton Talbot, Max Holloway, Magomedov, Potan, Andrade, Shevchenko, Dan Hooker, Michael Morales, Dustin Poirier, Sean O'Malley, Kyle Bahayo, Rose Namajunas, Justin Gaethje, Ilia Topuria, Donald Cerrone, Charles Oliveira, Natalia Cristina de Silva, and Amar Tsarukyan. Pretty decent checklist there, and a lot of people that have had some pretty good finishes, so they definitely could have some really good images in this checklist. And we got Peyton Talbot, the lone rookie, in this one, and we'll see again what the design is, but this could be a pretty fun set. Now it is 25 cards, so that's definitely going to be somewhat difficult if you're trying to complete that set, but I for one am excited about that one. Final face-off. So we got some, we're going to have two fighters on all of these cards, right? We got Islam and DP. I like that pairing. That's a good pairing. We got Shevchenko Grasso. That makes sense. Ooh, we got Conor Habib. That's going to be a good one, man. That'll be fun. We got Anderson Silva, GSP. That's a nice GOAT card as well. Ooh, Jones Cormier. That could be a good one too, man. Holloway Volk, DDP Strickland, Izzy Potan. Another good pairing. We got O'Malley, Marab, and Zhang Wei Li and JJ. So some solid. At least these make sense. These make a lot of sense. We'll see what the actual design looks like. Ferocity. So we got a decent amount of rookies in here. Asu Almabayev. We got Gene Silva, Steve Ursig, Kaya Sakura. So we got 4 out of 30 in this one. Hamzat, Caitlin Vieira, Tom Aspinall, Tracy Cortez, Charles Oliveira, Sean Strickland, Volk, Connor, Juliana Pena, Tabitha Ricci, Kayla Harrison, Rob Whitaker, Macy Barber, Umar, Pantoja, Yuri, Kaio, Bo Nickel, Joe Pfeiffer, Shavkat, Arnold Allen, Ian Gary, Valentina, Colby, Jan Blachowicz, Diego Lopez. So that one's pretty mid if I'm being honest. Definitely some names I wouldn't want from that checklist. Also, Ferocity. What are they going to do? I'm scared this one's going to be really cheesy, man. I'm scared they're going to give us like some real cheese on this one with the Ferocity name. But we'll see. Again, a 30-card checklist, so that's pretty massive. Not a set I would be looking to collect. The Ultimate Fighter. So when I first heard of this one, right, and I heard Ultimate Fighter, I was thinking, oh, they might give us like some cards from Tough. We might get some new rookies in this set. Like that would be pretty fun, in my opinion, if we got like pictures of people from the Ultimate Fighter. They didn't do that at all. So it's just going to be, you know, the Ultimate Fighter. I don't know if they're going to go with like championship fights or what. But this is a pretty decent checklist when I was looking at this earlier. We got Holloway, Pereira, Gaethje, Makhachev, Volk, DC, Sean O'Malley, McGregor, Ilia Topuria, Shevchenko, John Jones, Chuck Liddell, Zhang Wei Li, Dustin Poirier, Habib, Anderson Silva, Tony Ferguson, GSP, Alexa Grasso, Chael Sonnen. So when the worst fighter in the checklist is Tony Ferguson, that's a pretty good checklist. So that at least, you know, you got some solid names there. I am interested to see the design, but I'm also bummed they didn't give us like an actual Ultimate Fighter. I've been waiting for that for a long time because I love watching that show. I think it's really fun. You get to know the fighters. You get to see good fights, but we don't get that in this one. Fight DNA, again, could be a fun design depending on what they do with this, you know, the Helix deoxyribonucleic acid. I remember that from biology class. Is it going to be a good design? To be determined, but I think they have something to work with here anyway. We got 2 rookies in here, Waldo Cortez and Peyton Talbot. Talbot's all over this checklist. We got Magomed Ankalaev, Kayla Harrison, Shavkat, Max Holloway, Tom Aspinall, Hamzat Chimaev, Tracy Cortez, Aaron Blanchfield, Sean O'Malley, Bo Nickel, Alex Pereira, Paddy Pimblett, and Umar Nurmagomedov. So 15-card checklist. This is going to have SSPs. This, on the little rundown on these products, it did say that there were going to be SSPs in this product. Only a 15 card checklist. This is one of the shorter checklists in this product. Is this going to be a SSP? We'll have to wait and see, but I think that could definitely be the case with these. And the Inception, and I mentioned it earlier, this is a massive checklist, y'all. This is basically another base checklist. We have 100 cards in the Inception. So while there is only one base card, technically, if you have 100, if you have an insert with 100 fighters in it, that's basically another base version, in my opinion. But we have a ton of rookies in here. Josh Van, Shamil Gaziv, Weston Wilson, Naimov, Steve Urseg, Kaya Sakura, Vinicius Oliveira, Jonathan Martinez, Mick DeBick, RDR, Hyosung Park, Asu Amabayev, Waldo Cortez, Nate Landwehr, Farid Basharat, Peyton Talbot, Rinya Nakamura, Roman Kopilov, Christian Duncan. We have Rufy in here. This is one of the few cards he's in. Gene Silva, Gene Matsumoto, Jose Mariscal, Vitor Petrino, Zell Huber, and that's it. So a little bit less rookies in this than the base, but still an absolutely massive checklist, man. And it's basically all the names you would expect in this. Let me do a quick skim here with you guys. Yan Xiaonan, Tatiana Suarez. I'm kind of thinking of names that Virna Jandiroba's in the title shot soon, so not bad. There's definitely some names that you wouldn't really want in here, and this is definitely, I mean, we get 4 of these per box, right? So I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to really get the people that you would want in this checklist with it being so massive, and with the rookies not being necessarily as much, I just really don't like that they gave us 100 card checklist in here, but we'll see. And that is the Inception. So we talked about the base cards, we talked about the inserts. Now let's talk about the autos and the relics. First up, we're going to talk about the autos. Again, we get 3 autos per box with this product, right? So there is a lot of autos in this checklist, and let's check them out here. There is no, in some of these products, they'll do just the rookie checklist, like they do, the finest rookie autos. I think they did that in Gold Label as well. They had a rookie auto checklist. The rookies are going to be scattered throughout a lot of these autos. So is that a good or bad thing? At least we get design variants, and they're not just kind of pigeonholed into one design. So I guess from that aspect, I would say it's probably a good thing. First out is going to be the knockout autograph. Let's see, Rakic. Let's go over the rookies first. We got Bogdan Guskov, Jose Mariscal, Carlos Prates, Daniel Marcos, Eduardo Moira, Ismael Bonfim, Van Martinez, Miktabik, Landwehr, Bellato, and Vitor Henry. And we got Rakic, Zahabi, Dariush, Christian Rodriguez, Cameron Saman, Barboza, Frankie Edgar, Giga Chikadze, Jim Miller, Joe Pfeiffer, Jens Pulver, Lyoto Machida, Pinheiro, Bautista, Matt Hughes, Maverick, Mar Bueno, Cristiano da Silva, Pedro Munoz, Robbie Lawler, Moicano, and Thembo Garimbo. A lot of names in this. A lot of names I wouldn't be hyped to pull as well, and that's gonna be a theme, right? Whenever we get a lot of autos in these boxes, and especially the ones that aren't the shorter end or the more expensive boxes, you're gonna see a lot of names that are not great in this. We got the Fearless Fighters, the lone rookie Gene Silva in here. We got Brian Ortega, BSD, Colby Covington, Corey Sandhagen, Davison Figueiredo, Dan Ige, Jeff Neal, Ikram Aliskerov, Joaquin Buckley, Jamal Hill, Jaltan, King Green, Habib, Ken Shamrock, Mark Coleman, Mackenzie Dern, Misha Tate, Michelle Pereira, Marcin Tybura, Marlon Vera, Rashad Evans, Rich Franklin. Kind of a mid one. Dude, Davison Figueiredo still getting it done. This guy is an ageless wonder. He had a big win the other day, and he's still up there, and he's making his way to maybe getting another title shot, which is crazy because I feel like he's been around forever. Octagon Warriors, just Asu Amabayev, lone rookie, Boss Rutan, Chael Sonnen, Don Fry, Frank Mir, Jan Blachowicz, Junior Dos Santos, Kevin Holland, Macy Barber, Manon Farrell, Manel Kopp, Sean Strickland, Tim Sylvia. That is a rough checklist as far as championship belts go. I mean, you got a run of quite a few of these people that don't have belts. You got some old school guys that would be kind of fun to hit, but not necessarily super collectible. So that's going to be a rough checklist. Full Contact, Azamat Mirzakhanov. We got rookie Christian Duncan, Carlos Olberg, Dan Henderson. We got Ribovic's rookie, Bonfim rookie, Izzy, Kayla Harrison, Magomed Ankalaev. We got 3 rookies in a row: Melissa Mullins, Sadikov, Rinya Nakamura. We got Sed Nurmagomedov, Shogun Rua, Tom Aspinall, Uriah Faber, and Yan Xiaonan on the Full Contact. AKA Inc. We have no rookies, but before we talk about who's in this, I do think this is the first inscription auto from Carlos Olberg. We have the Black Jag. Whenever we're talking about collectability long term, firsts are always a big deal, right? And I do think that he's only been signing his name, so this might be the first ever time we get any type of AKA from Carlos Olberg. Again, double check what I'm saying, but I think that is something to look into. Let's see. We have Jalen Turner also in here, who is retired. Now, I did hear a blurb talking about potentially him coming back. It wasn't like him saying he would come back, but he was like, if I ever get the fire, I will come back. So I think the door's not completely closed. It's slightly cracked still on Jalen Turner, and he is young enough to potentially come back one day. Now, will he make a run? I would say probably not based upon his performance, but I think it was mainly in his head. It wasn't necessarily the physical skills with him. So we got Amanda Nunez, Pantoja, Aljo Sterling, Volk, Charles Oliveira, Olberg, Chris Weidman, Donald Cerrone, Dan Hooker, Ian Machado, Gary, Eli Tapuria, Jessica Andrade, John Jones, Jalen Turner, Michael Page, Paul Craig, Patty Pimblett, and Rose Namajunas. So some decent names in that one, and the AKA Inks always do pretty well. So definitely a good one that I would be happy to hit most of those names in that list. Dynamic duels. So we got duels in this. That is one cool thing about Knockout, right? You get booklets, you get duels. We have trios. We also have a quad in this that we'll talk about in a little bit. The main thing with those, right, is I want names that make sense. I want names that are going to be grouped together, that are also all solid, right? Because if one name is kind of meh, it doesn't ruin the card, but it definitely, it tempers expectation. It's not as good as it could be. So we have Gabriel Bonfim, Ishmael Bonfim. So we got a dual rookie in here on this one. We also have Danny Barlow and Nate Landwehr, dual rookie there. Gilbert Burns, Vicente Luque, Dom Cruz Faber, DC Sunnin, Aldana Grasso. We got Ortiz Liddell. To me, Islam and Umar is going to be the one that I would most likely want to hit on this, as well as the Bonfim brothers. I think both of those make the most sense, and the potential of having the dual rookies is pretty sick, and just Team Habib being on there is also pretty good. I guess if you really liked the Liddell-Ortiz rivalry, that would be a good one as well. Next up, Triumphant Trios, and again, this is a pretty small checklist, right? We got the Japanese, we got Asakura, Rinya Nakamura, Tatsuro Taira, that makes sense. We got Magomedov, Chimaev, and Ankalaev. That's kind of an interesting pairing. I don't hate it, but, is Shara going to be champ one day? To be determined. Is Magomed ever going to come back from getting steamrolled from Pereira? To be determined. So I don't know about that one long term, but some good names there. We got Suarez, Blanchfield, Kayla Harrison, and we got the UK card: Leon Edwards, Tom Aspinall, and Patty Pimblett. So of these three, personally, I probably like these guys the most, so that'd be the one I would want to hit. But again, personal preference. You guys let me know in the comments below, what cards of these are you trying to hit? I mean, we do have some interesting cards in this one, so you got a lot to choose from. Collagiograph, the best name in this checklist. We got Amir Albazi, Alistair Overeem, and again, no rookies in this. Pantoja, Bilal Muhammad, Conor McGregor, Charles Olives with a big win. He still got it. Donald Cerrone, Gilbert Burns, Ian Machado Gary, Yuri Prohashka, Jessica Andrade. I feel like I haven't pulled any Yuri from the products I've ripped. Basically no good Yuris, so maybe that'll change here soon. Justin Gaethje, Joanna Jacek, Juliana Pena, John Jones, Kaikar France, Merab Dvalishvili, Mavzar Evloyev, Nasruddin Imavov, Patty Pimblett, Raquel Pennington, Stipe, Sean O'Malley, Sergey, and Tatiana Suarez. And lasting impact, very short checklist here: Alexa Grasso, Anthony Smith, Conor McGregor, GSP, Glover Teixeira, Holly Holm, John Jones, Stephen Thompson, Tony Ferguson, and Tai Tuivasa. 2012 throwback signatures: Arnold Allen, Aljamain Sterling, Amanda Nunez, Anderson Silva, Alexander Volkanovski, Bilal Muhammad, Bo Nickel, BJ Penn, Kyle Baharo, Chuck Liddell, Daniel Cormier, Ian Machado, Gary, Ilya Taporia, Jose Aldo, Yuri, Leon, RDA, Hoist Gracie, Rose Namajunas, Sean O'Malley, Shavkat, Sergey, Wanderlei Silva, and Zhang Wei Li. Are you seeing a thing? There's a ton of autos, man. A ton of autos in this product. Again, no rookies on the quad auto booklet. Let's see if these go together. Let's see which one of these we'd most likely want. We got Dustin Poirier, Holloway, Gaethje, and O'Malley. That's pretty decent. We got Umar, Islam, Habib, and Tagir Ulanbekov. That's pretty decent too. Now, is Ulanbekov gonna continue to win and rise up the rankings? That's really the only question mark we have on that. We've got okay, so we do have a rookie in here. Gene Silva and Carlos Prates are both rookies, but it's paired with Thiago Moises. Why don't we have Roofy in this, and then you can have a Fighting Nerds quad auto? I don't understand that decision at all to add Thiago Moises to this. Israel Adesanya, Hamza Chimaev, DDP, and Sean Strickland. That's kind of an interesting pairing. All four of those guys have had really good success at 185. DC, Jose Aldo, Anderson Silva, and GSP. Now that is, that's some really top tier fighters and top tier accolades on that one. That's a good one. Alexa Grasso, Rose, Valentina, and Zhang Weili. You got the ladies. You got a bunch of champs and former champs on there. All right, and we are heading into the auto relics. You're going to get one of these per box, so these definitely are important. And some of these, could be really big hits for you. We have a decent amount of rookies in these, as we will see. All right, we got the Tier 1 dual relic. Ariana Da Silva, Alonso Menefield, Brandon Moreno, Royval, Chase Hooper, Joel Alvarez, who fought up for the first time last weekend, and he fought 170 against Vicente Luque. He basically stopped the fight, with a left hook. They kind of thought it was an eye poke. It definitely wasn't. So he looked okay. He didn't look great. If he could get back down to 155, man, he is OP at 155. But I guess that's not in the card, so I think it's gonna be a lot tougher for him at 170. We got Josh Emmett, Jack Hermanson, Jack Jenkins, Gene Matsumoto, Hamza Chimaev, Michael Chandler, Michael Davis, Marcus McGee, Marina Godinez Gonzalez, Molly McCann, Meatball Molly, dude. What happened to her? She's kind of fallen off here recently. I don't even think I've heard anything about her. Manuel Torres, Pierre Rodriguez, Rob Font, Kopolov, Raul Rosas, Tracy Cortez, Toshiami Kazama, Vinicius Oliveira, Valentina Shevchenko, Waldo Cortez, and Yasmin Haragwe. Some okay rookies here, but not anything too crazy. Probably Vinicius would be one of the ones that I'd be most trying to hit on those rookies. Knockout auto relics: Andre Muniz, Alex Pereira, Adrian Yanez, Alex Perez, Brendan Allen, Bruno Silva, Chelsea Chandler, Cody Durden, Danny Barlow, DDP, Diego Lopez, Dominic Reyes, Blanchfield, Basharat, Fernando Padilla, Greg Rodriguez, Hyung Sung Park, Irene Aldana, Jasmine Jasudavicius, Jake Matthews, Kaya Sakura, Caitlin Serminara, Carolina Kowalkiewicz, Karine Silva, Caitlin Vieira, Luana Santos, Modestas Bukaskis, this is a good one. Muhammadjan Naimov, Matthias Rebecki, Marvin Vittori, Norma Dumont, Neil Magny, Roman Dulidze, Rafael Fazi, Ricky Simone, Robert Whitaker, Shamil Gaziv, Magomedov, Shara, Tiago, Trevor Peak, Umar, Vicente, Volkan Ozdemir, Vitor Petrino. So we've got a couple of rookies in this. Not really too much in this one, honestly. Knockout auto relic. That's going to be, I think that's the one that you're going to see a ton of in these relics, and that was pretty low on the odds sheet. So they're going to be a lot of those popping out. Autograph fight mat relic. We got Eileen Perez, Armand Sarukian, Charles Jourdain, Calvin Cater, Casey O'Neill, Islam, Joannison Brito, John Jones, JDM, Johnny Walker, Kyler Phillips, Ludovic Klein, Max Holloway, Michael Page, Peyton Talbot, RDR, Tabitha Ricci, Trey Waters, Rena Jandaroba, and Weston Wilson. So this one so far, right, we've had probably the two biggest names in this, the auto fight mat relic. And those are definitely going to be two guys that you would want to hit. So hopefully that's the relic, and hopefully you can get in on those guys. UFC champion auto relic booklet. We got Alex Pereira, Conor McGregor, DDP, Islam, Ilya, Jose Aldo, Marab, Raquel Pennington, Sean O'Malley, Tom Aspinall, Valentina Shevchenko, Weili. Man, we almost had a perfect checklist here. If we didn't have Pennington, that would have been like a perfect checklist. All right, we got the Bitter Rivals dual auto relic booklet. Let's see how these pairings go. Let's see if they make sense. Which one do we want? We got Marab, O'Malley. We got Dan Hooker, Gamrot. We got Gaethje, Holloway. We got Kayla Harrison, Pena. Moreno, Pantoja. Connor, DDP. Connor and Poirier, man, the diamond. Maybe that's what I would want. So far, that's the best one. Yuri, Potam. We got Dricus, Strickland, Grasso, Shevchenko, Ilya, and Patty. Ilya Patty might be a good one as well. If they can ever run that, they need to eventually run that, man. There's a lot of steam behind that. Topuria is doing too much as the champ, dude. Like he's saying he doesn't want to fight any of these guys. He's really flexing his championship and his champion muscles on, you know, kind of picking the matchups that he wants, if you ask me. And lastly, we have the relics. And again, you get one relic in every box. So hopefully, you know, cross your fingers, you get something nice in here. There are a lot of rookies. Maybe you can hit one of those. We got the knockout relics: Volkanovski, Kyle Bahayo, Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, Islam, Joaquin Buckley, Juliana Pena, Josh Van. We got a Josh Van sighting here. Hamzat Chimaev, Caitlin Vieira, Magomed Ankalaev, Michael Chandler, Manon Farrell, Molly McCann, Mohammadjan Naimov, Mick DeBick, Misha Tate, Nate Landwehr, Natalia Christina De Silva, Rina Nakamura, Rose Namajunas, Robert Whitaker, Sean Strickland, Stephen Thompson, Tracy Cortez, Tatiana Suarez, Vinicius Oliveira, and Zhang Weili. Some decent rookies in this one, at least. A decent amount of rookies that I would definitely want. 1-2 combo relics, and we got 3 rookies in this one: Alexa Grasso, Cyril Gahn, Diego Lopez, Yasmin Lucindo, Jessica Andrade, JDM, Joe Pyfer, Lerone Murphy, Mackenzie Dern, Max Holloway, Michael Morales, Michael Page, Peyton Talbot, RDR, Sean Brady, Steve Urseg, Shavkat, Tony Ferguson, Tatura Tyra, Yasmin Hargway. Some decent young talent in here, sprinkled with a couple champs and, you know, these 2 rookies. So again, not too bad on that one. Momentous materials: Pantoja, DDP, Aaron Blanchfield, Justin Gaethje, Gene Silva, Johnny Walker, Kaya Sakura, Merab Dvalishvili, Raul Rosas, Stipe, Sean O'Malley, Shara Magomedov, Tiabata Ricci, Umar Nurmagomedov, and Yudong Song. Let's see. Fight Mat Relic: Potan, Conor McGregor, Dricus, Diego Lopez, Dustin Poirier, Islam, Ilya Topuria, John Jones, Habib, Merab Dvalishvili, Max Holloway, Peyton Talbot, Shara, Tom Aspinall, Valentina Shevchenko. I like that checklist. I would be hyped about any of these, honestly, and hopefully, you know, this is definitely one that I can get in the collection. Fight Mat Relic, is it going to be, are we going to get some event used relics? I am not holding my breath on that. Pattern in history would say we are not going to get event used relics, but I thought I saw event used in the little graphic that they gave us in one of the pictures and in a leak. So maybe we can get that. I'm excited to hopefully get an event used relic, and maybe we can actually have that, you know, in some products and change it up a little bit in 2025 with Knockout. All in relics. We got Alex Pereira, Waldo Cortez, Ikram Alaskarov. Also, Ikram is another guy that really has not been getting a lot of cards. He wasn't printed a lot in 2024, his rookie year. He hasn't been printed a lot this year. If he can ever make a run to the title, that is definitely going to be a good thing as far as supply and demand goes. And the cards that he does have should be a little bit more valuable than if he was printed a ton. Jonathan Martinez, Yuri Prohashka, Kevin Holland, Kayla Harrison, Leon Edwards, Macy Barber, Michelle Pereira, Matthias Rebecki, Patty Pimblett, Raquel Pennington, Tom Aspinall, Volkan Ozdemir, Valentina Shevchenko, Yair Rodriguez, Yan Jiaonan. One breath. We got... This is an okay checklist, probably not definitely one that I would want to hit. There's a couple of names I wouldn't necessarily want to have in my collection. Ooh-wee, the vocal cords, man. The vocal cords are working on this video. If you guys like UFC cards, you're going to like my channel. So check out these videos over here and subscribe for more videos just like this.